Formula One, the pinnacle of motorsport. With a global audience and drama to match, all the attention is now on race circuits around the world, waiting for the start of the fastest show on Earth. Last year's regulation changes saw closer on-track battles. Anyone expecting a smooth ride from the 2023 season is in for a shock. With a shake-up in the paddock resulting in the signing of several new team principals, F1 is primed and ready to light up the world stage. Team principals will already be talking tactics, boosting the confidence of their drivers and ensuring their pit crews make those box times as tight as possible. With the new era of racing now well underway, more teams than ever will be vying for points, podiums, and a chance at the championship. This is Formula One. Red Bull took the F1 world by storm in 2022, defending their Drivers' Championship title and bringing home the Constructors' Championship for the first time since 2013. The new season will see the continuation of Dream Team, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. They're flying high on the back of their success, but they can't afford to rest on their laurels if they want to dominate 2023 in the way they did last year. On paper, Ferrari had a stellar season in 2022, taking home second place in both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships. But some high-profile errors marred their year, and second place felt like a poor consolation prize to what really could have been. Returning in 2023 with drivers Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz and a new team principal at the helm, they need to fix those past mistakes to be in with a chance of claiming that top spot. 2022 was a tough year for Mercedes. Taking home third in the Constructors' Championship, they broke their 8-year winning streak, and although they eventually made up for an early slow start, it was too little, too late. The team returned this season once again with the all-British driver pairing of Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, and they'll be aiming to claim back the crown. They've done it before, and they know exactly what it's going to take to do it again. In Alpine's debut 2021 season, they finished 5th in the championship, and in their 2022 run, they claimed 4th. But will the loss of veteran driver Fernando Alonso stall their entry into the top 3 this season? Or will Esteban Ocon, alongside fellow countryman Pierre Gasly, a new transfer to the team, be the fuel they need to break through? Only time and racing excellence will tell. A frustrating finish last season for McLaren, who ended 5th in the Constructors' Championship, down a place from the year before. They return for 2023 with Lando Norris, the only driver outside the top 3 teams to earn a podium in 2022, and the highly sought-after rookie Oscar Piastri. With this ambitious lineup behind the wheel, McLaren are set to fight their way back up the grid this season. Alfa Romeo showed off their fighting spirit in 2022, battling their way to 6th in the Constructors' Championship, with an all-new driver pairing of Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu. The pair have proven they've got what it takes, and in 2023, they'll be returning to the track and looking to push their way back up the grid. The Hinwil team begin the new season expecting to face tough competition from those battling it out in a very tight midfield. Aston Martin ended the 2022 season in 7th place, although 6th was almost within their grasp. Alongside significant investment and state-of-the-art facilities, this year could be their chance to shine. They've traded one multiple championship-winning driver for another by signing Fernando Alonso after Sebastian Vettel's retirement, and with Lance Stroll rounding out their lineup, Aston Martin are primed to push their way up the standings. Haas finished last season 8th in the Constructors' Championship, an improvement over past years, but still far from desired. With Nico Hülkenberg returning to F1 to join the team, as well as Kevin Magnussen continuing in his seat, Haas have opted for a more experienced driver pairing on the grid in 2023. With the team's trademark perseverance, they'll be eager to convert that experience and passion into valuable points. It was a disappointing end to the 2022 season for AlphaTauri, leaving them in 9th, their lowest finish since taking on the new name. But they can't afford to dwell on disaster if they're going to battle their way back up the standings. Now with the signing of Nick de Vries alongside returning driver Yuki Tsunoda, it's time for AlphaTauri to shake off last year's troubles and prove they've got what it takes. 10th in the Constructors' Championship is not where Williams would have chosen to end 2022, but that won't stop them fighting. Debutant Logan Sargent joins for the new season after a stellar F2 performance, driving alongside his more experienced teammate Alex Albon. With the right leadership, the team is set to come out swinging in 2023.
You must be our new team principal. It's so great to meet you. I'm Audrey, one of the team engineers. I'm happy to show you around. Let's be honest. Here at Red Bull, we're on a winning streak and we're not prepared to give it up. I hope you've got impressive stamina, because we're forging on ahead this season with more determination than ever. In this area, you have a centralized view of the board set season objectives for the team to achieve. Reaching them, you'll always be able to see what the team's next race is from here, and how long you have left to prepare. Our next Grand Prix will be the first of the season. As it's your first day though, there's nothing urgent for you to address. Feel free to explore more, or you can select continue and sign off for the day. Once you do, time will pass. But don't worry about missing anything. You'll automatically sign back in if an important event comes up. Here's your inbox. Watch out for any email alerts. They appear when you've got an important email awaiting a response. You can take a look at sponsorship performance targets here. Improving our cars is a constant process if we want to stay competitive against our rivals. New car parts are initially designed in-house by the team. They can then be manufactured and installed on either car. Let's introduce you to the team drivers. They're under contract with us for the season, and their professional development and race performance will make or break us as a team. It's not just the fastest car that makes a team the best in F1. It's the people doing the hard work behind the scenes. Manage your staff from here, from department heads to your pit crew, and keep up to date on their performance. Check here to see what your sporting director has planned for the pit crew. You can also come up with a detailed development plan of your own for them. After all, the pit crew are the ones who can save valuable seconds for our drivers. From here, you can see all the team's facilities, from the staff buildings to the car parts warehouse. You can build new facilities or, if the team has the time and money, upgrade our existing ones. Facilities affect all areas of our team's performance. Over time, facilities will degrade and become less effective, so keep an eye on their condition. When this happens, we'll need to look at refurbishing or even upgrading that facility to get back to maximum efficiency. The board are the ones who set the expectations for the team. If they're confident in your leadership, you'll be fine. If they lose confidence in you, however, they might look to replace you. Don't forget to check in with the board often and take note of their confidence levels, as well as the team's progress towards a greater rating. Running an F1 team is expensive, and careful finance management is essential. You can see our current balance here. Most of the team's budget is decided by the board at the start of the season. There's also whatever income we get from last season's prize money and any extra sponsorship revenue we earn. Whenever you're making financial decisions, make sure you're considering our cost cap. It's a mandatory spending cap on team transactions, with certain exceptions. If we go over the cost cap, whether intentionally or by accident, the team will receive a fine. Each driver has their own strengths, as well as areas to improve. These statistics will all affect different aspects of their driving ability. Any driver who participates in a race weekend is going to gain more experience and improve over time. You'll want to keep an eye on drivers' morale as the season progresses. The higher a driver's morale, the higher their performance for the team. A driver's morale will also affect their confidence on the track. Each race driver has an assigned race engineer who will communicate to the driver when they're in the cockpit. A driver and race engineer pairing with a higher affinity will work better together, especially important during a high-pressure race weekend. To ensure your team is developing as desired, you can set up a targeted development plan for any of your drivers. If you want to direct your staff to focus on specific areas of their development, you can do so here. The pit crew are a vital part of our team. Their reliability and speed can make a big difference to a race outcome. When they're back at HQ in between races, the pit crew can train to improve in different areas. The pit crew development plan will focus on a balanced training approach, but you can give them further instruction and focus on a specific area. The pit crew are always so busy training. You can access the team's training schedule through the calendar, and from there customize the current plan right down to a daily breakdown. Just bear in mind that as the pit crew's job, and therefore training, is very physical, they can become fatigued and as a result more prone to making mistakes. Remember, the constructor with the highest number of fastest pit stops will win the DHL Fastest Pit Stop Award at the end of the year. Once you're happy with the pit crew training schedule, make sure to confirm it. Here we've got the performance targets for this coming weekend. If we meet these targets, we'll gain extra revenue. If we don't meet the target, it won't cost the team anything.
Welcome to Sakir. Doesn't it feel good to be back? As we start a brand new season, the slate is wiped clean, and all 20 drivers prepare to make an instant impact ahead of an exciting year. Bahrain International Circuit was Formula One's first venue in the Middle East, and is still a calendar favourite. Dusty and challenging, this desert track is a real test of endurance for teams and for drivers. Williams are taking a gamble this weekend on a new driver, but you have to ask, will it pay off? So then, time to get back to the action.
Welcome to your first race weekend with the team. A normal race weekend starts with 3 practice sessions, a knockout qualifying session, and then the race itself. Later in the season, we'll encounter some different formats, such as a sprint weekend. Once you're ready, we can move on. Over here is our race preparation area. This is where you can make any changes you need ahead of the upcoming practice session. The team will put together... Feel free to look at the run plan and the different options available. Then we can move on when you're ready. During race weekends, as it's your first race weekend, you should let the team handle the practice sessions. To help maximise our drivers' performance, the team, and you on future weekends, will have them work on 3 goals during practice: track acclimatisation, car parts knowledge, and car setup. Having your drivers progress towards these 3 goals will improve their preparation level, which will then affect their confidence across the whole race weekend. Whenever you manage practice yourself, use the time to experiment with the balance of the car, and make sure you give the drivers long enough on track to feed back on their car setup.
Welcome everyone to qualifying. This should be a good one.
Bahrain's track is dusty and abrasive, and even under the floodlights, qualifying is tough on soft tyres. Teams will need to use their tyre allocations wisely.
And in terms of the driver we've got here, Nick de Vries, how do you think he's feeling at this moment?
It's interesting because they weren't that fast in practice. I'm not sure if this was a lack of pace or just the team trying different things, but I imagine we'll see their true performance soon enough.
Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
Right, time for qualifying. Our results here will determine where we start on the grid for Sunday's race. Qualifying takes place over 3 knockout rounds, and only the fastest drivers will advance each time. Same as practice, the team can handle qualifying for you if you like. Let's get you hands-on for this round though, just to make sure you're feeling confident before race day kicks off. Our drivers need to be setting their fastest possible lap times, so we can advance to the next period of qualifying. The slowest 5 cars will be sitting the rest of qualifying out. Right then, let's get a car out on the track for its first run and see how it goes.
Radio check.
Loud and clear, Max. Just focus on your time management for now.
Yeah.
I know everything happens so fast over a race weekend, but if you need to catch your breath, you can pause for as long as you like. Of course, if things aren't moving fast enough for you, you can speed things up instead. The map view here gives you a good overview of the whole track and all the cars. Each car is also fitted with a number of onboard cameras, so you can view the race from different vantage points. Remember, you're managing 2 drivers throughout the session, so make sure to keep an eye on both of them. You can even watch from the driver's visor cam, which will really get you up close and personal with all the race action.
Will be clear. Push this lap.
You hear me okay?
Yeah.
A driver's confidence level can be impacted throughout a race weekend, both negatively and positively by on-track events. You can keep an eye on each driver's confidence level here. A driver with higher confidence will have an increased performance and a lower risk of on-track incidents. A driver with lower confidence will see a decrease in performance and have a higher risk of on-track incidents happening.
Feel that temperature.
Yeah, copy.
There are a number of events that can interrupt a session, mainly for safety reasons. These include a safety car or virtual safety car, also known as a VSC, which is used to slow the drivers down. If that's not enough, a red flag can be used to stop a session completely. When race events occur, they can provide excellent opportunities to make strategic changes. For example, some teams will choose to pit a car during a safety car event, effectively gaining a quicker pit stop.
Red flag, red flag.
Here you can see all the available tyre compounds for the weekend. You need to use at least 2 different compounds during a dry race.